Good morning, students. In the previous lecture, we discussed some of the numericals. That numericals was of quantitative analysis of our organic compound. So, in the previous lecture, we calculated the percentage of carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen with Dumas method and Zildahl's method. After that, we calculate the percentage of sulfur, phosphorus, halogens. So all those sum was from your example and the exercise of the chapter number 12. Today we are going to complete all the examples from chapter number 12, and in the next lecture we are going to complete the rest of the exercise. So let's start with the example number 1, organic chemistry. Our example number 1, problem number 1, 12.1 from textbook, example not the exercise. How many sigma and pi bonds are present in each of the following molecules? We have to find out how many sigma bonds are there and how many pi bonds are there in the given structure, in the given molecule. Okay, look at the first molecule, CH triple bond, CH triple bond, C single bond, CH. After that, double bond, CH single bond, CH3. Okay, this is our compound. How many sigma bonds are there and how many pi bonds are there? First of all, carbon carbon sigma bond, carbon carbon sigma bond. Okay, 1 2 3 and 4 carbon carbon sigma bonds are there. After that, carbon hydrogen sigma bonds. So 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Now carbon double bond carbon, it is 1, and pi bond in carbon triple bond carbon will be 2. So total 3 pi bonds are there and 10 sigma bonds are there in our structure. Our next structure is CH2 double bond, CH2 double bond, C double bond, CH single bond, CH3. Okay, that's all. Now likewise, carbon carbon sigma bond 1 2 and 3, carbon hydrogen sigma bond 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now carbon double bond carbon pi bonds are total 2, 1 and 2. No triple bonds are available. After that, our second example, second problem, what is the type of hybridization of each carbon in the following compounds? Okay, so 12.2, hybridization. What will be the hybridization of every carbon? Let's find it out. Our first compound is CH3Cl. Okay, there is only one carbon available, that's why hybridization will be sp3. After that, we move to our next compound, second compound number 2. Okay, that will be CH3 twice CO. Okay, let's draw the structure of this compound. CH3C double bond O, CH3. Now the hybridization of every single carbon. Okay, this carbon is connected with 3 hydrogen with the sigma bond and 1 sigma bond with the carbon. So all of the bonds are sigma. So this carbon will be sp3 hybridized. Likewise, this This will be also sp3 hybridized, but the middle one pi bond is there, that's why it will be sp2 hybridized. After that, our next structure, third one, it is CH3CN. So let's draw the structure of the compound. That's why CH3C triple bond N. Okay, total 2 carbons are there. First carbon with the 3 hydrogen and single bonded carbon, it will be sp3, and this one will be sp because of the triple bond. After that, our structure number 4 is HCONH2. Okay, for HCONH2, HC double bonded O NH2. So because of double bonded oxygen, 1 carbon is available, and for that double bond carbon will be sp2 hybridized. For the 5th compound and the last one, CH3CH double bond CH single bond CN. So that is our compound. Let's draw the structure. CH3CH double bond CH single bond C triple bond N. So first carbon, because of 3 hydrogen, it will be sp3, because of double bond sp2, because of double bond sp2, and because of triple bond sp. So that was the hybridization of all the 4 carbons. Question number 2. After that, question number 3. Write the state of hybridization of carbon in the following compound and shape of each element, or each compound. So 12.3 shape and hybridization. Okay, the first compound is CH3CO. CH2 double bond O. Okay, because of double bond, it is sp2 hybridized, and planar trigonal will be the structure. After that, our second compound is CH3F. Okay, CH3F. Because of all the sigma bond, hybridization will be sp3 and tetrahedral structure will be there. And the fourth compound is HC triple bond N. And because of triple bond, hybridization will be sp and linear structure will be there. So our first 3 problems have been cleared. After that, our next problem number 4, expand each of the following compound formulas into their complete structural formula. We have given condensed formula and we have to convert it into the complete structural formula, in the sense, whatever compound we have given, we have to show every single bond, and that we can do very much precisely. That's why that will be for homework. Okay, in the homework, example number 4 will be there in the homework. Total 2 compounds are there. After that, problem number 5. For each of the following compounds, write a condensed formula and also their bond line formula. It is reversed. Here we have a structural formula. We have to convert it into condensed formula, as well as we have to convert it into the bond line formula. This all we have discussed in the starting of the chapter. So now when you do the homework completely, this thing will be revised again. So example number 5th will be also in the homework. After that, example number 6, expand each of the following bond line formula to show all the atoms including carbon and hydrogen. Okay, in this particular question, bond line structure has been given and you have to draw every single bond. So question number 4, 5 and 6 are similar and you have to complete it by yourself. After that, question number 7. Okay, where is question number 7 in your textbook? Okay, here it is. Structure and IUPAC name of some hydrocarbon are given below. Explain why the names given in the parentheses are incorrect. In the sense, there are 2 different names for one compound. You have to give a reason why the name in the bracket is wrong. Okay, that based on the rules of the IUPAC nomenclature. Our first rule was find the longest chain. Second rule, give the least number to the branch. So these rules you have to follow and you have to give reason on the basis of these rules. So that will be also in the homework. Example number 7. This is all easy, that's why. After that, example number 8. Okay, this will be important for us. So write IUPAC name of the given compound. So 12.8 IUPAC name. Our first compound is CH3 CH2 CH OH CH2 CH2 CH CH3 and after that CH2 CH3. So this is our first compound. Okay, the first rule, find out the longest chain. So this will be our longest chain for the compound given. Give the number according to the least number to the functional group. Least number to the functional group, hydroxide functional group is that. So least number to the hydroxide. So number 1 will be from this side. That's why 1, 2. This carbon 3rd, 4th, 5th. This carbon will be 6th, 7th and 8th. Okay. So on the 3rd carbon there is OH and on the 6th carbon there is CH3. So the name will be, the substituted group will be on the front. So 6 methyl. Okay, 8 carbon, that's why octane, not E, octane on the 3rd OH. So octane 3 all. That will be the name of the first compound. After that, second compound CH3 CH3 CH2 C double bond O CH2 C double bond O CH3. This is our compound. Okay, the first rule, find the longest chain. So the straight line will be the longest chain. This will be our longest chain. Now the numbering. There are two ketone groups are available. First ketone and second ketone. Two ketones are available. So least number to the ketone will be on this side. So this carbon will be the first one, second one, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. 6 carbons are there. That's why hexane dash 2 4 because of two ketones dione. Okay, that will be the name for this compound. After that, our third structure. Okay, so here it is, CH3 C double bond O, CH2 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 C double OH. As we know, because of carboxylic acid, the carbon containing carboxylic acid will be the first one, because carboxylic acid is the most reactive. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. On the fifth there is a ketone group available, and because of ketone group and carboxylic acid, we have to prioritize on the base of the reactivity, and carboxylic acid wins because it is the first one on the list. Now because of a suffix of the carboxylic acid, a prefix of ketone will be used. The prefix of the ketone is oxo. That's why 5-oxo. 6 carbon is there. That's why hexane and oic. That's why hexanoic acid will be the name. After that, our fourth compound number 4, CH triple bond C single bond CH double bond CH single bond CH double bond CH2. This is the compound we have given as the fourth compound, and for this compound the longest chain. So the straight ahead longest chain. Now numbering. Alkene is more reactive than alkyne. That's why alkene will gain the least number. That's why 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the 6th. 6 carbon is there and no prefix is available for alkyne or alkene. That's why hexa or hex, you can write both of them, hexa or hex. Dash, first the most reactive, so 1 and 3 diene dash 5-ine will be the name of the compound. After that, okay, that was all. 4 different compounds was given in the question number 8. After that, our next example 12.9. In the 12.9, they have given a name of the compound and we have to draw the structure. So likewise, our first compound is 2-chlorohexane. So draw structure. Reverse one. Our first is 2-chlorohexane. So the first step will be a chain of the carbon. So the first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon and the sixth carbon. 6 carbons are there. 2-chloro. On the second carbon there is a chlorine present. Now the remaining bonds to the hydrogen. This carbon have one bond, so 3 bond to the hydrogen. These carbon have formed 3 bond, that's why 1 bond to the hydrogen. 2 bonds are formed, that's why 2 bonds to hydrogen. Same goes over here and here. This carbon have only 1 bond, that's why 3 bond with the hydrogen. That will be our compound 2-chlorohexane. Okay, the second one. Our second compound is pent 4-in-2-ol. Pent 4-in-2-ol. Okay, let's draw it. First carbon skeleton. So the first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon and fifth carbon. 4 in, 1 2 3 4. In means double bond and 2-ol. Over here ol means alcohol, OH. Now remaining bonds to the hydrogen. So this carbon have 1 bond, that's why 3 hydrogen. Over here 1, here 2, here 1 and here 2. That will be our compound pent 4-in-2-ol. After that, our next compound is 3-nitrocyclohexene. So the third compound 3-nitrocyclohexene. 3-nitrocyclohexene. Cyclohexene in the sense 6 carbon in cyclic form. That means a hexagonal cyclic hexane. Now hexene is there, so 1 double bond will be there. Let's give it a number first. So the first carbon, second carbon, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. Now there is a double bond present. Okay, there is a double bond and 3 nitro. So on the third position there will be NO2. So that this is our compound 3-nitrocyclohexene. Let's rub the numbers. Okay. So this is our compound. After that, our fourth compound it is cyclohex-2-in-1-ol. Cyclohex-2-in-1-ol. In the sense, again we have to draw a 6 carbon closed ring. So 6 carbon closed ring. 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Right now I am not writing the numbers, you have to remember it. Now 2 in, so 1 2 double bond is there and 1-ol. So on the first carbon there is OH. After that, our next compound is 6-hydroxyheptanol. So the fifth one, 6-hydroxyheptanol. Okay, let's draw this. Heptanol in the sense 7 carbon. So the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth, sixth and seventh. Heptanol is there. That's why on the first carbon there is double bonded oxygen and single bonded hydrogen. CHO. In the sense aldehyde group is there on the first carbon. Now 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. On the sixth carbon there is a hydroxy group in the sense OH. Now this carbon have 4 bond, this carbon have 2 left, again 2 left, 2 left, 2 left, 1 left and 3 left. So that will be the compound 6-hydroxyheptanol. After that, in the question number 10, so that was all for the question number 9. 5 compounds are there. Now the question number 10, example number 10, problem number 10, write the structural formula. Okay, the same situation, same thing again. They have given four different compounds and they asked us to draw the structures. Okay, we have practiced it already in the 5 compounds. That's why our example number 10 will be in the homework. After that, example number 11, where is it? Okay, page number 351, example number 11. So we are going to solve it, problem number 11. Using the curved arrow notation, show the formation of reaction intermediates when the following covalent bond undergoes the fission. So heterolytic product, we have to give them heterolytic products. So the reaction number 1, CH3 SCH3. Okay, it will be very easy. CH3 SCH3, and they have broken the bond like this. So what will be the intermediate? Simply the electron of this bond has been transferred on the sulfur. That's why carbon will be plus and sulfur will be minus. Our next reaction for this, second one, CH3CN. Okay, again easy one, CH3CN. And electron transfer on this reaction is from bond to the nitrile carbon. That's why methyl carbocation will be there, because electron of the bond has been transferred on this carbon, and Cn minus will be formed. Now in the reaction number 3, CH3Cu is there, and electrons of the bond has been transferred on the carbon, because carbon is more electronegative than the copper. So now this time carbon ion will be formed and Cu plus will be there. So that was all about your problem number 12.11. Now 12.12, we have to distribute given reactant into electrophiles and nucleophiles. Okay, the first one is HS minus, and negative symbol represents the nucleophile. I said it, we have written difference between electrophile and nucleophile, where I told you if there is a negative charge it will be nucleophile, and if there is a positive charge it will be electrophile. The second one is BF3. Okay, BF3 is Lewis acid, and Lewis acid belongs to the electrophiles. So BF3 will be electrophile. After that, okay, C2H5O minus, negative sign, and negative sign belongs to the nucleophiles. After that, tertiary amine, electron donating group with a lone pair of nitrogen electron, that's why it is in the nucleophile. After that, Cl plus, because of positive charge it is electrophile. After that, CH3C double bond O plus, that also belongs to the electrophile because of positive charge. After that, amine NH2 minus, because of negative charge it is in the nucleophile, and NO2 plus, because of positive charge it belongs to the electrophile. So that was about your question number, problem number or example number 12.12, your 12th problem. After that we have problem number 13. Identify electrophile central in the following compounds. Okay, so problem number 12.13, electrophile center. Okay, in the first compound CH3CH, CH3C double bond O and H. Okay, this is our compound, and they told us to find out the electrophile center. Okay, which one will be the electrophile center over here? Simply, if we break this bond, the bond of the electron of the bond will be containing by the oxygen. That's why CH3C double bond O plus forms, because it will lose the hydrogen, and because of that carbon becomes plus. So electrophile center will be the carbonyl carbon. After that, our second compound in this reaction is CH3CN, CH3C triple bond N. It is quite simple. This electron will be contained by the carbon, and that's why our electrophile carbon will be CH3 plus. In the next step, but right now in this compound, okay, this is the product, but right now this carbon can be positive because electron will be transferred over here, and that's why CH3C plus double bond N minus, and this carbon becomes plus. And that plus carbon is our electrophile center, CH3I. Obviously, because of inductive effect, C plus and I minus, but partially negative, partially positive. So that was about the electrophile center. After that, question number 14, your problem number 14. So 12.14, in the 12.14, which bond is more polar in the pair? We have to find out polar in the pair. Okay, that will be easy for us. I am simply going to write it. The first one is CH3H and CH3Br. Okay, among them we know, okay, not the I, H. Okay, in this pair bromine is more electronegative than hydrogen, so this bond will be polar. After that, our second compound, second pair is CH3NH2 and CH3OH. Okay, we know that oxygen is more electronegative than nitrogen, and that's why this will be more polar. Our third pair is CH3OH and CH3SH. Oxygen and sulfur belongs to the same group, but sulfur is less negative than oxygen. That's why CH3OH will be more polar than CH3SH. After that, question number 15, in which carbon-carbon bond in the bromopropane the inductive effect is expected to be least. Okay, on the last carbon the inductive effect will be least, because inductive effect is effective up to the 3 carbon, and on the third carbon it will be very less. That's why example number 15 will be in the homework, easy. After that, example number 16, Okay, write the resonance structure of CH3COO minus and show the movement of electron by curved arrows. Resonance structure. We have to practice it, and that's why it will be in the homework, because we discussed resonance structure of two different components, benzene and the nitromethane. Now you have to give me the resonance of acetate radical, CH3COO minus. In the 17th question, write the resonance structure of CH2 double bond CH single bond CHO and indicate relative stability of the molecular structure. I told you some rules for the stability of the resonance structure. Among them, certain rules will be applied in this particular sum and you have to follow it. That's why our example number 17 will be also in the homework. After that, example number 18, again resonance structure is there, and why it is not resonance, again the rules regarding. So 18 will be also in the homework. After that, example number 19, why tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary and least stable CH3, inductive effect and hyperconjugation. So 19 will be also in the homework. From example number 20 to 24, we calculate 5 different sums. So our all the examples have been completed of the organic chemistry chapter number 12. In the next lecture we are going to start solving our exercise, and after completing our exercise we will start our next lecture. I know I told you that we are going to start a lecture, but I think we should clear this before we start example number chapter number 13, because I know when I give you the work, I don't know whether you are going to complete it or not. That's why I am giving you this particular type of work and this type of homework. Complete it by yourself, and if you have any doubts, contact me. We will continue with the exercise in the next lecture. Thank you so much.